And welcome back to the New York Jets franchise rebuild. Here today, we will be going through a mid-season report. I do these every single season, about halfway through, right around week 8, just in case if I want to do any sort of trades beforehand. And I get to tell you guys a little about my thoughts on the roster and any sort of contracts we go through, stats, all of that fun stuff. So let's first and foremost, let's talk about this roster. And right now we're 5-1. I believe we're right now the best team in the league, or one of the best. Right now we're tied. So this week, next game versus the Niners will really kind of decide that, who's going to be the best. So happy so far with this team, how they've been playing. We've had some injuries that we've been dealing with. Overall, I'm just kind of happy with how the team's been playing. I think Steven James, from just a quarterback standpoint, he's been playing very well. Sure, is he the most elite quarterback? No. But does he get the job done? Absolutely. I think he's our best option. I think he will be our best option throughout the rest of this franchise. I think our running game has been great. I mean, our three backs between Carter, Newberry, and Adam have all played extremely well. And then our receivers, we've found really some quality gems here with Ben Toon and even Dylan Henry, who will be out and he's going to be missed. In terms of the offensive line, no really concerns. Of course, Mekhi Becton and his injury concerns is always going to be a concern, but other than that, happy with them. And then defensively, I mean, what more can I sit here and say? Our defense is just top-notch, just one of the best. I mean, we've been kind of hitting on all cylinders this year. Last season we were able to cause turnovers but not really get sacks. This year we're causing turnovers and getting sacks. Very happy with it. Very happy for the trade for Deshaun Bryant, who we don't know just yet his development trade. We'll know it in a few weeks from now, but he's been playing excellent football. One of the better safeties / corners in our league. He's been playing the slot. Bryce Hall and Michael Hampton has been playing very well. But let's go check out their stats. Let's go see how they've been doing, because overall I'm happy with how we've been playing. Of course, maybe adding a little bit more big play element in terms of offense. That's probably the big thing. But I mean, hey, Steven James has yet to throw an interception. He has fun with the ball, but that's okay. He's looked like what I like to call just a game manager. So I'm happy with him. Stafford in last week's game, he looks solid. He had his moments, but he also isn't the greatest quarterback. In terms of running the football, we have two runners that are running exceptionally well, and then, even Taylor Newberry himself. So happy with our running game. Almost have a 500-yard rusher. In terms of receiving, Elijah Moore, who really hasn't gotten too many opportunities for the big play. Hopefully in the upcoming weeks he can do so, but Moore has looked excellent out there. Same with Deandre Hopkins. When we've needed him, he's made the plays. We just kind of haven't asked him to do everything that he was doing last season, especially due to his speed, and the regression really he definitely feels a little different. But Dylan Henry's kind of been the star of the show in terms of our receiving. He's caught 24 passes, second on the team. He's been making a lot of good plays, and he's looking better than Meredith has throughout his entire career. So happy with that transition. And then Ben Toon, happy with him starting instead of Keyshawn Lloyd. Who knows if we will turn to Phil Costello this season? I don't know just yet. Blocking, like I said, no really standouts besides a few sacks allowed. That's about it. And then defensively, in terms of defense, Jonathan Jackson with 8 sacks. He's gotten a sack, I believe, in every single game. I want to confirm this. And he's just gotten so much pressure. He makes plays in the running game. He does everything for us. But he's right now looking like he's going to have his best season yet. So happy with that. And then turnover-wise, Michael Hampton, I think this is also a career high for him. Bryce Hall with 3 of his own. So we're kind of putting it all together right now. We're looking like a really good team. It's now just up to Steven James to take it to the next level. Just because I think this is going to be fairly quick. Let's look at the scouting, these projected players. It looks like right now there's a few offensive linemen in the top 5. There's quarterback, pass rushers. I mean, overall, when I think about my team right now, I mean, sure, offensive line, and especially mostly pointing at center, might be something that we dabble into, but we have the young players behind our starters that could potentially become starters full time. Maybe linebacker, but we also drafted someone. Overall, I'm not really paying too much attention to this draft class. I don't even know our draft picks. I don't know if we have more. Actually, we don't even have a first round pick this year. So, I mean, for us right now, it's mostly just kind of focusing on winning this season and winning another championship, and that's about it. I mean, thinking about this draft is kind of like the last thing on my mind, to be honest with you guys. But let's talk some contracts here, and there's definitely some players here that I think definitely deserve some big contracts here. You know, Jalen Bonds and Michael Hampton, two players in our secondary who's made plays throughout their entire careers. There has to be a decision on Steven James. Alex Morris is another big one for our offense. And then there's some players down the line, you know, even Adam Wright. I mean, he doesn't want a ton of money, but could he go to a team and become a starter somewhere else? That's kind of like the question. And then a few other players down the line here that are solid backups or solid rotational players. But overall, let's focus kind of on the big three. And I kind of want to get these deals done now so that I don't have to think about them down the line. And I think the easiest one to kind of sign right now is Steven James. I know he's probably not the best quarterback in this league. You know, he's right now ranked 12th. And he's had games and he's had seasons where he hasn't looked great, but he helps us win football games. And for me, as a GM, that's what I care about. Now, this contract's about, you know, at a high of $28 million a year. It's about $20 million-ish a cap hit. But I think it's time to kind of give him this deal. He's earned it, in my opinion. So $114 million, which is not a lot of money in terms of quarterback money. But let's offer this to him. And Steven James has re-signed, and I am very happy to do so. So let's see his cap hits real quick. Where we work on the next two, because we're dishing out a lot of big money. So it's about $26 million, 27, 29, and 31. I mean, it's low-end quarterback money in today's NFL. You know, that 31 is kind of like that minimum, I would say. But James isn't the best quarterback out there. So I think it's fair for myself and for this team. Now, if you guys don't know, Michael Hampton was our first ever player drafted. He's been a very good corner in our league. Very happy with his addition, and there's no doubt in my mind that I'm going to give him a contract. I am usually always trying to keep my players, the first player I ever drafted, around long term. So 4 years, $51 million, and Michael Hampton resigns. I'm really hoping that this spot is very easy. Let's see his career stats. So, you know, in his first year, didn't cause any turnovers, but he's consistently gotten 2. And this year, he already has 4 throughout, 6 games? So hopefully he can continue to get a couple more. I mean, hey, if he can get 6 interceptions this year, I would be very happy with him. But his cap hits are about 11 to $13 million, $14 million, which is not bad corner money at all. And I think he's really a very good corner. And then finally, Jalen Bonds here in our secondary, 25 years old. You know, someone we drafted in the second round, and I didn't really know if Bonds would become anything like this. And Jalen, he can stop the run, he can pass rush, or he can rush the passer when needed, and he can cause turnovers when needed. So I'm willing to give him a 5-year, I'm going to make it an even number, 5 years, $55 million. Happy with this contract if he signs it, and he does so. So we got all 3 big contracts done, out of the way. We don't have to think about it. Here are his stats throughout his career. You know, he causes turnover, he gets sacks. You know, he's a good player. Here are his cap hits. And it's a little over $10 million, and it's definitely going to be tight now. You know, no more of the days of giving out these big 1-year contracts. You know, I think this is probably going to be the only year we have Jonathan Allen and Trent Brown. Now for Alex Morris, and this is a contract that I am kind of thinking that we don't really need to re-sign Alex. He's a good player, but he's a player right now where I'm kind of more leaning towards a potential tag and trade, or we just kind of let him go. He's going to be 27 when this contract hits, and overall, I think that we could manage losing a center. Don't forget, we can't pay all 5 guys. We're already paying 3 out of our 5 offensive linemen, and I don't know if we can really handle paying someone $10 million. Four offensive linemen, $10 million. We also have a couple bigger contracts coming up next year. Let's go look at our salary. So when we look at our salary, we kind of have to look until next season. Michael Carter's contract's up. Theodore Dickerson, who will get the 5th-year option though, but Ashton Davis, his contract's up. Same with Dylan Henry. Let's see if there's any other big ones. Seth Knox, David York, Quinton Williams. This is another big contract that we have to decide on. DeAndre Hopkins. So there's a lot of actually big contracts we have to decide on. And obviously, Jonathan Jackson. So we really have to kind of start being smart with our money. I know this is right now when I'm hoping this is the last season. I hope we can go out there and win another championship. That's the hope of the franchise. But I am willing to continue this franchise while also doing another main franchise on this channel. This series might just take a little bit slower to be put out. But I have to also think just in case if we don't win the Super Bowl this year. But overall, I think we're in a very good spot with this roster. We have a lot of our big name players under contract long term, and hopefully we can do so. So I decided to do the practice so then I can give you guys some upgrades to talk to you guys through some upgrades. There is an injury that I saw. I didn't see. I went through it too quickly. But Jalen Smith. So Smith is going to be out versus the Niners, which is a big injury. But Blake Cashman can step up in his role. I'll talk about that a little bit more in the next episode. But let's go through some upgrades. I don't usually do this, and this is kind of how we'll just finish off today's episode. As we actually have plenty of upgrades to work with. Let's start with Alex Morris here. And, Alex has always kind of just struggled in the running department. We'll go with power with him. And, with Alex right now, let me know down below what you guys think I should do with him. But, in my opinion, center is not the most important position. And especially in Madden, you don't really need to have a quality center. You can kind of just work with it. So I don't know just yet what we'll do with him. Rowan Stafford, he played very well last week, and here are his ratings right now. I mean, he's starting potential, in my opinion. He has solid short accuracy. Few things he though still needs to work on. Tony Tucker here. Now here's a player that in a few years down the line, if this franchise kind of continues, he's definitely a player that I'm so excited to work with. 88 power moves, 76 finesse moves. I've been working mostly on his finesse moves this season. We're going to continue to do so. But he's a player definitely to look out for, maybe to replace John Franklin Myers in the years to come. So now he has 78 power or finesse moves. For Max Winkler here, who is a converted guard or center to guard, and he would basically replace Alex. He kind of has the same starting potential at ratings. He has good pass block finesse. With him, I've kind of just focused in on the power. It's kind of always the lowest rating that I work with my offensive linemen. And we got all the power, all the running blocking. So happy to see that he's starting right now because of Doug Thomas's injury. For Jared O'Neal, he's our backup center, and we'll go with pass protector with him. It boosts him up a little bit more. He's just a backup. And then finally, Trent Brown, who's right now starting. We'll probably end up going with his best trait, which is either pass or power. We'll go with power. Why not? We'll just make him as high of an overall as we possibly can. And we get +3 to run power. Happy with that. But that is today's mid-season report. I know, not a lot in projecting towards the future, but overall, we're looking forward to this up-and-coming week versus the San Francisco 49ers, who are 5-1. That will be next time. And, I might end up doing something like this, guys, where I play one game and then I do 2 games, like a double header, something like that. I don't know just yet. I'm kind of really feeling out this season. I think that San Francisco deserves its own episode, as they are 5-1, one of the best teams in our league. So, guys, I really do hope you enjoyed today's episode. I know these are just long rants of mine, just kind of go all over the place. Please leave a like, comment down below what you thought, and if you're returning to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. It really does help me out. We're right now very close to 300 subs. As well as, guys, I do want to let you know there will be more new content coming to the channel other than Madden and Madden 23. I am looking to add Valorant as well as Minecraft. If you guys do not know, I do stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/Larrbearxd, where I stream Tuesdays, Thursdays, and sometimes Fridays, where I play a variety of different games, mainly Minecraft, Valorant, Dinkum, a couple other games. It would really mean a lot if you would come check out the Twitch channel and, you know, hang out with me there. And guys, I really do hope you enjoy. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.